Again with De Zerbi coming over here and Guardiola bigging it up. I mean, Guardiola's given us a lot of praise in the past, but it seems like it does feel genuine to me. It feels like, I think he even said that he went out for dinner with him, I think, and it was like they had a private conversation. And I think De Zerbi is a big fan of Guardiola, obviously, as most good managers are. But I think for Pep to go out of his way and take him for dinner, to talk to him and introduce him and wish him luck and say that he's there for him, if he needs anything, he's there for him. Obviously, just not against Man City. I think that's really cool. I think I like that a lot. I think people can be skeptical and say, oh, he's just being condescending or anything, but I don't think that's the case. I genuinely think he is a nice guy, and it's just quite reassuring to me that the way De Zerbi seems to play football is based on that. And again, we've got another modern manager into the Premier League. This Premier League is getting filled with talent now in terms of managerial positions. We've got some serious talent. Thomas Frank as well, newly in the Prem. There's some big sort of good managers in there now. So it's going to be a tough opening, which leads me on nicely, to be honest, to talk about Liverpool, which does feel like an age away now, but it will come around very quickly. We've got Liverpool at Anfield, which will be De Zerbi's first game. Yeah, I'm really excited. I will be there. I'll be in the away end, which I'm very excited about. Because I've never been in the away end at Anfield. I only went in the home end last time. But this should be good. I'm really excited for it. De Zerbi's first game, Maz. Obviously, Liverpool haven't really been at it this year. I mean, they had that 9-0, which was like an absolute one-off. But I don't know. It's just, this feels like a whole new era now, doesn't it? Liverpool seem to be changing. The Giants are falling. The new man's in at Brighton. How are you feeling ahead of Liverpool?
Mate, yeah, like you said, they've not been convincing this season. But that's not to mean they're going to be crap and they're going to be, they're ultimately they are Liverpool. They're the second best team in the league. Like, not right now, obviously, but over the last 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
over the last 2-3 seasons, behind Man City, there's not been a better team than Liverpool. So like you can't just walk, you can't go to Anfield and think, oh yeah, we can get a draw here, or we can get a positive result out of this, because it's always going to be difficult. Like you said, Anfield as well, like the atmosphere, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this season, 4-1 they lost to Napoli, lost 2-1 to Man United, and they've drawn against Palace, Fulham, Everton. Like that's pretty poor, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's definitely potential for us to do it. It'll be interesting to see what kind of players they've got available, because I know they had a few injuries, didn't they? Especially in midfield. So whether they've now recovered those players like Thiago, Fabinho, key players, because I think they had a midfield of Milner, Elliott, and I think Carvalho last game, which just shows like they are really, and not to say that they're bad players. Like Carvalho and Elliott are definitely up and coming and very good young prospects, but for the right here, right now, they want their Fabinhos, they want their Naby Keitas, they want those players that can come in now, Thiago. So yeah, I feel like depending on what if they've got a fully fit squad, I think that'll be key. Like that midfield battle, I think will be massive, especially if those players aren't playing. I think we can definitely, like Caicedo there, Pascal Gross, they can really sort of stick it on them. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game.
Do you think that De Zerbi has a potential of taking them almost by surprise as well? I mean, as much as they'll do their research, and I'm sure Klopp will do his extensive research on De Zerbi, but ultimately no one really knows as to how he's going to come out against Liverpool. 100%. It could be completely terrible. It could be, we could get battered, but it could also be, on the other side, really, really entertaining, great football, dominate the game, which our players have the potential to do. We've proven it so many times, time and over, against all the big teams. So
100%.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm confident, but I would say that there's a reason to be confident. I think it's probably the right thing to say.
Well, just on that. Obviously, the last time we played, let me just double check. The last time we played was on against Leicester, obviously, which was on the 4th of September. And by the time we play Liverpool, it's going to be the 1st of October. So I know he only got appointed, let's say a week ago now, around that. So he's going to have about 2 weeks worth of training. So he's got another 6 days until the game. So he's going to have a long time to prepare, so he can actually put his stamp on the team already. And usually when a new manager comes in mid-season, they have maybe a couple of days before their next game. Potter had his first Champions League game within 2 days, I think, of joining. So
and didn't win.
Exactly. So I feel like that definitely does help, having that time of 2-week period of being with the lads on the training pitch, instilling your philosophy, your tactics, your team. You can really. He's
had a great time period, hasn't he? Like he really, it's actually come at a good time for him, to be honest.
100%.
He's really had that time to now bond with those players. The players that will come back from internationals this week as well. I bet they're excited as well to see this next chapter. I think. I don't know. I'm really excited. I don't want to say that I think we're going to go win this game, because I think that's probably on the bold side.
Big, yeah.
But it's a potential that we could at least get a point here, because, as you say, Liverpool haven't been great. They might come back and be really good, but Klopp seems to have a funny thing in his 7th or 8th season, is it? That he always seems to fall down, and he's historically done it at Dortmund, etc. before. So whether that's going to be the case, and he does have a bad season this season, I mean, it's definitely started off poorly. And
100%.
There's a reason to be positive there, I think. De Zerbi balls in. We've got to back these boys now. We've got to back everyone at this club. We've got to fully get behind it. I want the fans completely behind it, because I'm sure they will be, as our away fans are fantastic. And they'll all be behind him at Anfield, I'm sure.
No, 100%. And one thing, this is sort of away from the Liverpool game, but one thing I just do want to say, and I've said this on another sort of podcast before, but I don't want to come on here and be like, I think De Zerbi's going to absolutely smash it. He's going to be unreal, because I still do have with any new manager, I think you're going to have doubts.
You've got to be a bit worried.
Naturally, you're going to have a few doubts. So, my only thing is like we mentioned earlier in the pod, it's like, okay, Ukrainian league's all well and good, but, is the quality all there? Obviously, fair play, Syria was amazing. What he achieved.
Probably what we don't need is in 4 months' time, when we could potentially go on a bad run. Say it does start very well, and we do get a result against Liverpool, go on a bit of a run, beat Tottenham even, and we have a really, really great start. I don't want us to then 4 months' time, everyone's like not Potter out, but De Zerbi out, or looking at I've had enough of De Zerbi, because he's got to have a lot of time to almost rebuild what's been left behind, really. And it's now his chance to, I think Tony Bloom's even said they can be having internal discussions, of course they will be, talking about going into January window and looking potentially at players that would suit his team, because ultimately these are Potter's boys. This isn't De Zerbi's team. And, he might not get on with that team. He might want someone else.
100%. And I think a really a big point as well is, with regards to Potter, the comparisons between De Zerbi and stuff, he's going to have that. The expectations are going to be completely different.
Yeah.
When Potter came in, we were like, just cute, and it just kept us up. Yeah. And the expectations are a bit like, okay, cool. Like if he gets us mid-table finish or just above the relegation zone, cool. Whereas I feel like now De Zerbi's come in with us being 4th, the expectations are completely different. It's now we expect him to do well, or we want him to get us mid-table. That should be like the minimum. So I think actually De Zerbi's he's actually got a harder task.
He's got a tough job on his hands.
Yeah, he comes in with a much more expectation now, whereas with Potter came in
as well, like that whole connection as well that Potter seemed to have at the end, and all that punch in the air and saying he had no idea that he was going to leave, which just seemed to be complete rubbish to me. But that connection, he has to now build, and he has to play that football that we're so used to, and have that no fear factor going into any game. And that's now on De Zerbi's shoulders to sort. So it's a big job on his hands, and that's why I don't want I'm not saying that our fans will. It's more about, I hope that our fans don't eventually get on his back after a few months, and we get into the new year and we're all looking, I don't want that, because otherwise it then gets that divide. We don't want that divide. We want to get behind these guys and really give De Zerbi what he deserves, because because he does deserve to at least have the fans behind him for this season, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. And looking towards again, we should wrap it up. Well, what's your score prediction?
Okay, score predictions. I'm going to say 1-1, because I don't know how he's going to go and attack them. So I can't say that his attack's going to be successful, and I can't say that his defence won't work, because I know that's a criticism, but I always feel like that can't defend thing is always a bit of a narrow-minded approach to saying that he plays good football. If you know what I'm trying to say, it's a bit of a English way of saying it. I don't know what it is. There's an English arrogance with around those sort of things. We just like can't defend. But I think that we'll come out strong. I think that the boys will be ready for it. I think that the fans are going to be fully behind it. I expect that our atmosphere from our end is going to be very good, because Anfield, when it's not a European night, it's often quite quiet. So he'll definitely be able to hear us. And I'm looking forward to it. Going to be a good day out. And also, actually, Maz, this weekend that will be coming up will mark 2 years, I believe, of Seagulls Social, which is crazy. So hopefully, it's all completely new to us. We've got 2 years of Seagulls Social this weekend, and we've also got De Zerbi's new era. So there you go.
What a time to be alive, mate! What a time to be alive.
What about you, by the way? Score prediction?
Yes, I'm gonna go. I feel like it's gonna be another draw. I feel like with it being his first game in charge, I feel like we can get a good result. But I just don't know. The win seems out of reach. I don't want to be negative, but it just feels out of reach, the win. So I'm going to go 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw enough for me. Yeah.
So we've gone the same. That should be interesting. I'm excited. I'm genuinely really excited. I don't even tell in my face. I'm actually excited for this.